No, 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 no. Stop! Will you shut up?
What's up, guys? It's Jason here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Mattress Insight. You know who Kylie Jenner is, right? Half-sister of Kim Kardashian, who, besides being on the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, runs her own successful cosmetic line and makes or breaks startups. Yes, you heard that right. In March of 2015, Jenner posted on Instagram that she had moved, and Jenner commented about how excited she was to try out the two Casper mattresses that had come compressed in stylish dark blue and white striped boxes. The post garnered 899,000 likes on the app, brought Casper to the forefront of startup fame with a very stodgy product, a mattress. To this day, Casper claims it did not pay Jenner to spotlight the company. That post helped transform Casper from a 5-person startup to a unicorn that at one time had the opportunity to turn down a $1 billion buyout offer from Target. Hey Target, if you want to buy Company Insight for $1 billion, too bad we're not for sale. But maybe $2 billion. As of July 2021, Casper is publicly listed and worth about $300 million. The loss of $700 million in its valuation begs the question, where did it all go wrong, and how did they lose their unicorn status? Today we'll talk about what happened to Casper, and is Casper Mattress going out of business? But before we begin, if you wouldn't mind just tapping that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate it. The more engagement a video like this gets, the more likely the YouTube algorithm is to push it out for more people to enjoy. And as this is a brand new channel I started this year, I appreciate it 1,000-fold. To add to that, I also respond to all comments and feedback. If you love to make money, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for new videos each week. Thanks for doing that, and now let's continue on with the rise and fall of Casper mattresses. Classic startup beginnings. Imagine the television show Friends meets startup ambitions. That's what the beginnings of Casper sound like, according to the founders themselves. Except for designer Jeff Chapin, who had worked for design consultancy IDEO, and Philip Krim, who already had experience in the mattress startup space. The other three founders are graduates of the Ivy League Brown University. Most notably, one of the founders, Luke Sherwin, had already started Brown University's largest campus business, while a student, a sort of university-wide eBay. One of his very good friends, Neil Parik's father, was a sleep doctor. All 5 co-founders had a shared interest in making it big and disrupting an industry, and actually brainstormed, met, and connected while at a co-working space. Ultimately, as a result of Krim's expertise in the mattress business and Parik's connection to it as well, mattresses were chosen as the low-hanging fruit. Casper actually made its debut in 2014. The founders did not name the company after America's friendly favorite ghost. Instead, they named it after one of the 2 co-founders' former roommates, who was both on the sleepy and laid-back side. The mattress business at the time was an approximately $14 billion industry. To make a name for themselves in an already crowded industry, Casper offered customers a unique value proposition. Buy our one-size-fits-all mattress that has been created for optimum sleep quality and comfort, have it delivered for free to your home in a stylish-looking box, and if you don't end up liking it, you can return it within 100 days. That, combined with an abundance of advertising dollars invested in getting the word out, led to Casper having $1 million of sales in its first month. Such success led to a desire to truly scale the company, which then led to the infusion of about $70 million in venture capital money. Solving a problem and marketing the problem. Casper succeeded as a result of having a functionality and stylishly good product and marketing what they perceived as a problem, poor sleep quality, as much as marketing the product itself. Parik himself admitted that the team realized that they wanted to invent an industry around sleep. In the same way that hard seltzers have been remarketed as cool to millennials because of savvy marketing and hipster pastel packaging, Casper spent about 8 months testing different mattresses to get one ideal mattress and then brainstormed how to deliver it just as deeply. The founders realized that their target audience of millennials might just live in setups similar to Sherwin's, a walk-up. Assuming there was no elevator, what could they do to make the packaging stand out amidst the many brown boxes that are delivered to homes daily? Based on those specifications, plus the fact that it would be cheaper to ship through UPS, they decided on finding a way to compress the mattress into the size of a mini refrigerator. The visual aspect of having a full-size mattress spring out of a relatively small box made it perfect for social media channels so many of us are addicted to as either viewers or content creators. YouTube and Instagram helped to show the novelty of the mattress and lured the very millennials that the company had hoped to attract. Success and challenges of scaling. By 2017, Casper had courted much press and sales. In 2016, the company had $200 million in sales, and that's just 2 years into their business. They were valued at around $550 million at the time. Its high profile and slick marketing attracted the interest of Target, who offered $1 billion to buy out the company. While that was 2 times their valuation, apparently both sides couldn't come to an agreement. They did, however, come to sort of a compromise. While Casper's team was not willing to get acquired for that amount, they did accept Target as their lead investor in their new round of funding. Casper ended up receiving $75 million in Series C funding, having received a total of $170 million during that round. Additional investments came from NBA players such as Kyrie Irving and Carmelo Anthony, as well as celebrities including 50 Cent and Ashton Kutcher. In the end, Casper also sold a lounger chair that it sold exclusively at Target. With fresh cash flow, Casper expanded into brick-and-mortar stores as well as interesting partnerships. In 2017, Casper's brand name recognition landed at a partnership with American Airlines. The company thus expanded its offerings with duvets, pillows, day blankets, lumbar pillows, slippers, and pajamas. In 2018, the company also opened an office and manufacturing facility in Canada, joining its production houses scattered across Taiwan and China overseas, and North Carolina, Georgia, and Southern California domestically. Casper also bet big on selling its mattresses through brick-and-mortar stores after a positive reception to their pop-up locations in Los Angeles circa 2015. By 2018, Casper had grown to 20 retail stores in North America, and just a year later, the company had 60 retail stores and 18 partnerships with prominent retailers such as Costco, Target, and West Elm. Casper IPO. By 2019, whispers of a Casper IPO made the rounds on the internet. It became less of a question of will it happen rather than when will it happen. As with many other companies who finally decided to go public, Casper did so primarily because they needed a cash infusion. In 2019, it had $55 million in cash, but only $6 million of working capital, and that year had gone through an excess of $100 million. On top of that, it had $41 million of debt. Other reasons did factor in, though, namely the stock market was perfectly positioned to theoretically welcome a Casper IPO. One, because Casper's rival, another mattress company named Purple Innovation, had gone public at a higher than expected stock price. This meant that Casper had a fighting chance of being similarly valued during its IPO. In reality, the high valuation that Purple Innovation received was actually emblematic of a bull market. In its public filing statement, Casper clearly outlined its growth strategy, which relied on building itself as a lifestyle rather than as a mattress brand. The reality stands that a mattress is a rather large expense, and most consumers do not buy a new mattress even annually. In reality, insiders in the mattress industry typically recommend mattresses be replaced about every 7 years. You should be able to do the math on that one. With such long lag times between when customers could potentially think of replacing their beloved Casper mattresses with another Casper mattress, the company needed to expand their offerings. In its prospectus, it thus positioned itself as a wellness brand that specializes in sleep. That isn't exclusive to mattresses, but also includes glow lights, pillows and pillowcases, dog beds, and bed frames. Unfortunately for Casper, its IPO was not as well received as their leadership team may have hoped. Perhaps indicative of the overall reception to Casper's IPO was the New York Times headline that declared, "Casper, the mattress startup, goes through with lackluster IPO." Despite positioning itself as the foremost leader of a $432 billion sleep economy, Casper actually ended up reducing its value to less than $500 million, with its stock opening at $14.50 a share and then ending the trading day at a lackluster $13.50 a share. To put in perspective just how much Casper has declined since its $1 billion valuation at one point, it's best to remember that they went public in February of 2020. By June of 2020, it faced a class action lawsuit by a group of investors who accused the company of failing to disclose information that was pertinent to retail investors making informed decisions. One prime example is that Casper had failed to mention that its profit margins were growing slimmer and the company was selling a glut of old and outdated mattress inventory at bargain prices despite its upscale image. While Casper has chugged along and has recovered from its March 2020 low of around $3 a stock and now stands at more than double the price at around $7, it still faces underlying issues. The company has not released any new products that indicate it is a lifestyle brand. Rather, it has released more of the same, updated mattresses, bed sheets, and continues to post trendy-looking images on social media. Casper performed well in the last quarter, having risen 40% since the start of 2021. This is largely due to the fact that overall home goods have seen a significant lift because of COVID, with more people working from and spending more time at home. The increase in time spent at home has, in turn, led to more people investing in their home, whether by upgrading to high-end Casper mattresses or by kitchen appliances from Wayfair. But with more people getting vaccinated in the US, will that growth factor be enough to sustain Casper's long-term growth? Besides that, Casper has a plethora of copycat competitors and faces a very high cost of acquisition in terms of marketing dollars. Between 2015 to 18, as Casper prospered, other entrepreneurs rushed in and latched onto the mattress-in-a-box trend. Just how bad was it? In that 3-year time period, an average of one new such company launched per week. Casper faces a total of around 175 competitors. Not all of them are trendy, millennial startups like Lisa or Ghostbed. Even older mattress companies like Sealy are in on the game, having produced a comparable mattress named Cocoon by Sealy. And that brings us to today. Indeed, while Casper's marketing is distinctive and recognizable immediately, it also comes at an expense. During its IPO, Casper's CEO addressed this point by emphasizing that the team intended to reduce heavy spending in some areas by opening more of its own stores, as well as creating more retail partnerships. Having more physical locations would help the company reduce its ballooning marketing budget. However, contrary to what Comme says, in its prospectus, it clearly outlines that if our operations are to continue to grow, of which there can be no assurance, we will be required to expand our sales and marketing. Given that, how would Casper feasibly scale while reducing marketing acquisition costs? Using 2019 as a benchmark, sales and marketing expenses took a whopping 37% of revenue. This has worked to acquire first-time customers for a big-time purchase, such as a mattress, but in its prospectus, Casper also notes that only 16% of its customers return for a second purchase. It's a big problem for a company that markets itself as a lifestyle brand. Without an acquisition in sight, or even rumors of an acquisition, Casper looks to be going solo for the near future. The company has already weathered some of the turbulence that has come with COVID-19 by cutting costs, completely shutting down its European operations, and subsequently letting go of 78 employees in 2021. The goal? To achieve profitability. It's no longer growth at all costs, including going into debt. While this could be a sign that Casper is making changes for a better future, it's still 50-50 if it's enough to turn the ship around. One thing's for sure though, it's a long way back up to that $1 billion valuation. So with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. There was a significant amount of research and production that went into making this video possible. As this is a brand new YouTube channel I just started this year, if you enjoy videos like this, please click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. I respond to all comments. If you haven't seen already, check out my video on the rise of Coinbase or the rise and fall of American education. As always, stay happy and healthy and stay tuned for another episode of Company Insight next week.